Okay, it's been quite a while since my last video. I was actually thinking that that was it. Details will take care of themselves, I believe, is the summation I made in my last video. It's true enough. I've looked into, well, let me catch up here. Still working at PetSmart, but still not at the Pets Hotel. That's still closed. Register, yes. The hours did not increase. As a matter of fact, they decreased. So I looked into Wags and Rover. It's a dog walking, dog sitting service that you access through a mobile app. And whatever hoops they make you jump, in my situation, not insurmountable barriers, but unreasonable ones. So, yeah, forget it. Instacart is the next thing I'm looking at now. So, I guess I'll know this time next week if that's a go. Interesting phrase. Just saw the launch from the Kennedy Space Center. It is May 30th, 2020. Congratulations, Elon. That was fabulous. Great. Okay. I'm sorry. Drifted. What else? Vietnam. I've always been focused on Hue, returning to Hue. But I don't know, the more I focus in on that, the more unlikely the choice seems. The city, at this point, in any case, it's like a choice of dying of a heart attack or dying of a stroke. Which one do I prefer? I mean, it's I really can't deal with the traffic in Hanoi. But Hue, I mean, there's not even any place I can physically go to take a lesson because not enough foreigners settle in that area. There's always online, but I'm thinking I'll probably need more intensive interaction to really be able to access whatever language skills I'm able to absorb. I don't know. So I'm not an easygoing person. I can't just go with the flow kind of thing. Would my inability to really deal with the language be a major obstacle to me being able to interact with my environment adequately? I am not a overly sociable individual. So it really takes detail work, an incredible amount of detail work to get things set up to my, I'm not going to say satisfaction, but to make it almost comfortable. Uh, not having any language skills, or not even having basic, adequate language skills, it's not going to really work out too well. I think I would definitely prefer dying of a heart attack. It's going to be so aggravating. Yeah, I'm just such a smart ass when it comes right down to it that I don't think I'd ever be able to deal with not being able to tweak my situation enough to be able to really feel almost comfortable. So I think I'd actually rather die of a heart attack dealing with the traffic in Hanoi rather than dealing with a stroke, dealing with the frustration of not being able to tweak my situation adequately. So it's, yeah. If I was a more go with the flow kind of person, it wouldn't be an issue, but I'm not. And I'm not going to be. So it's just the way, such a personal, right, and subjective thing, yeah. But that's the way it is. Oh boy. So I am beginning to think that, I mean, it's one thing if you came from, if your community or your family has that cultural background, so once you're in that environment, you'd be able to adequately pick up the language skills well enough to be able to, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, but without that advantage, it's like, as much of a bookworm or geek as I am, all the language skills I'm able to absorb, I still would have to go into a classroom setting and deal with a skillful instructor just to be able to access that information adequately, right? It's just, the information may be in you, but it doesn't really help if you can't really kind of get it out, kind of thing. So it's like, so I have no background in Vietnamese, so it's like, so yeah, I think I'd rather die of a heart attack than a stroke. Deal with the traffic deal with Hanoi's traffic rather than deal with my own language deficiencies and really reserved nature, and going into Hue that doesn't have enough foreigners to really have that springboard for foreigners kind of thing. So yeah, I am not an easygoing. My character is not that easygoing. It's just, I may be reserved, but I see myself like, stroke is not the way I want to go out. No, no, yeah. So, one madame too much, or one moped brush by too much to get that heart attack in there is one thing, but that's slow death of frustration. Yeah. So I'm thinking. My particular situation, I mean, when you can step away from it, right? Hue makes more sense. But you're not going to be able to step away from yourself once you're in that situation. You still have to deal with yourself, right? It's going to be too damn frustrating for me. I am not a laid back kind of person. So I need to be able to tweak the circumstances enough. And for that, either, if you're not a native, you got to at least be able to develop enough language skills to be able to. It's funny, huh? It seemed to make so much sense, but when you start picking it apart, getting more exposure to the culture, stand back and. Thing is, with some of those examples, since I'm starting to pick it apart, now I'm hearing what they're actually saying and getting some insight into and I just know that I am not going to be able to deal with the culture on that level. So I'm always going to be a foreigner. And if I go to Hue, I'm always going to be a foreigner without any real language skills, which may be fine for someone that's laid back. But I'm such an impossible little smartass, always having to tweak the situation to. I'm not an unreasonable individual, but for things to be so completely out of my control is never going to sit well with me. I'm that much of a smartass. So reasonable, but I'm still going to be a foreigner, and I'm still going to, want to be able to tweak the situation, and, without that, it's not going to go down very well. So, although if I stand away from the situation, Hue may make more sense, but when you start peeling away the different layers and really start picking at it, it's not going to work out that way. It's not, it's not my personality. So I'm thinking, holy moly, yeah. Kind of like take lessons while I'm in Hanoi, and whenever I can get away, weekend in Hue, just get away from all the noise kind of thing, until I at least am fluent enough to be able to handle situations adequately. Yeah, I'm not I'm never going to be that easygoing. So it's, yeah. I am a reasonable individual. It's not that I'm unreasonable, but I do not like leaving the situation in somebody else's hands. It's not going to happen. So I'd rather die of a heart attack than a stroke. Yes. A lot of things can change because, when you stand back, Hue still makes more sense. But, the more I pick at it, the more I see this is not going to go down well. It's not, I'm always going to be a foreigner. I at least need a decent level of proficiency. I'm not a laid-back individual like that, not to that degree. I'm a reasonable individual, but not laid back. That's not gonna. So, being a clueless foreigner is never going to be acceptable to me. So, it's looking like Hanoi, and whenever I can get away, Hue. Until what is it, 3 years to become proficient in Vietnamese? So they say. Oh boy. So it looks like 3 years learning Vietnamese, and the first opportunity I get, relocate to Hue. Anyway, this is going to change back and forth 1,000 times, but there were enough details surfacing for me to throw down another video. So, Hanoi, Instacart, save up my money, teach English online once I get to Vietnam. Hanoi, Vietnam. And again, congratulations, Elon. Awesome liftoff. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it. I would say talk to you later, but that's not a given. Maybe. So we'll see if things really change that much. That would justify another video. But who knows? Talk to you later.